Mookie Betts will replace Mike Trout in the starting lineup of the American League All-Star team, Dylan. But who should replace Betts on the roster? There were no outfielders on the final vote of the American League.
Right.
So if we're looking at this and we are naming an outfielder, who should it be?
I'm going to say Chris Davis from the Oakland A's. You know, based on the rules of this whole thing, Mookie Betts is the next greatest vote getter behind the starters. That's why he jumps into the starting rotation. And if you move Betts out, they are in need of an outfielder. And when you look at the outfielders who are not going to Miami already, I think Chris Davis is the best candidate. You know, I know 255 isn't such a gaudy batting average, but with 23 bombs and 57 ribbies, up over the 50-run plateau, he's proven that last year's 42-bomb, 102 RBI season was no fluke. This guy's gotten better and better with each year. He's still a young player with only 4 years of Major League experience. And when he hit those 42 jacks in Oakland last year, it goes a little under the radar because it's with the A's. When you back it up with another pre-All-Star break, 20-plus home run season, and at 23 right now with all those ribbies and runs, I really think that he would be a prime candidate, especially when you consider Tito Francona and trying to have some versatility with that roster. It looks like he's going to have plenty of infield backups, but you know, there's only 2 reserves right now to back up the starters in the All-Star game. So I think you need a third one, and that third one, if it were up to me, would be Chris Davis.
Okay, Dylan. And when you talk about any All-Star game in any sport, there's always question to the voting and who made it in and who didn't. Do you think this was a pretty good representation of who should have made it this year?
I thought just about better than any other All-Star game of any other sport. I think the fans nailed it. And so often we call into question, should fans really be voting? You know, you got some homer, some kid who's living in his mom's basement, just click, 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 click.
Mm-hmm.
But they got it really right. And the new system they've devised with getting the players to pick some of the reserves and then the commissioner's office to kind of get those last 4 to final out the votes while the fans pick the starters. I really have no problem with anyone that's on. You know, we do segments all the time, snubs, and this was one of the tougher years to pick a snub because I really thought all the deserving candidates that were up for it are on their way to South Florida.
Which means it's going to be a fun game to watch. Definitely looking forward to that, Dylan. For all your MLB news, keep it locked right here on 120 Sports.